Randy Orton and John Cena's careers have been connected since their days in OVW, but despite their many feuds across the years, we actually never got to see a singles match between the two at WrestleMania. With Orton recently stating that he would love to fight Cena at Mania for the title, I have took it upon myself to attempt to book the WrestleMania dream match we are yet to witness. With no disrespect to either man, the fact that Randy is pretty much in his mid-40s and Cena being close to 50, a match between the two would need to happen sooner rather than later. So let's set our sights on WrestleMania 41, but how will we get there? Let's book a whole year of build-up to a WrestleMania dream match between Randy Orton and John Cena. Let's start at WrestleMania 40. For the purpose of this video, let's say Cody Rhodes will face Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship. At WrestleMania 40, Cody would finish his story as he defeats the Tribal Chief to win the title. Following WrestleMania, Cody would head to SmackDown to defend his WWE Universal Championship. Upon arriving on SmackDown, Cody would begin a feud with Solo Sikoa, who has emerged as the first challenger to his newly won championship. In the meantime, Randy Orton would feud with the Lone Wolf AJ Styles, with both men looking to climb up the world title rankings. At the Money in the Bank PLE, Cody Rhodes would defend his Universal title against Solo Sikoa. Cody would manage to win the match, but his feud with Solo is far from over. On the same night, Randy Orton would win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, claiming the briefcase and earning himself a cash-in within the next 12 months. Over the next few months, Randy Orton would help Cody Rhodes in his feud against Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, which would involve him being at ringside for Cody's match at that year's SummerSlam against Solo Sikoa. Having Randy at ringside would prove vital for Cody, to deter Jimmy Uso and to help him retain his title. The following week on SmackDown, Cody would successfully retain his title in a surprise defense against Karrion Kross. After the match, Cody would be attacked by Kross in a savage post-match beatdown, in which Kross would use Cody's title against him, striking him in the face with the belt. Randy would run in to save Cody, landing an RKO on Kross. Realising that the Universal Champion is down in the middle of the ring, Randy starts to hear voices in his head. Randy would visibly struggle to fight the voices in his head, telling him to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Ultimately, Randy manages to block the voices out, picking Cody up rather than cashing in. At Hell in a Cell, Cody would battle Karrion Kross in a Hell in a Cell match to once again retain the Universal title. After the match, Cody could barely get to his feet after a brutal war against Kross. To the absolute shock of the WWE Universe, Randy Orton's music would play. Randy would cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on his friend Cody Rhodes. Cody would try to put up a fight, but exhausted from his title defense, Randy would land an RKO to Cody before pinning him to win the title. Randy Orton is the new, undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Following Hell in a Cell, Randy would let the voices get the best of him, returning to a Viper mentality. He would state that there are no friends in professional wrestling, only obstacles, and his former student Cody Rhodes, the man he mentored in Legacy, has become the biggest obstacle of them all. Randy created the obstacle, and he has no problem tearing it down, if it means he will remain as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Cody and Randy would embark on a very personal feud over the next few months, leading to the Royal Rumble. Cody would state that he is surprised that Randy would do this, but also knows that Randy has always been the snake that cannot be trusted. At the Royal Rumble, Cody would get his rematch as he would battle Randy for the Universal Championship in a no-holds-barred match. The referee would lose all control of this match as the two men would fight all over the arena. In a sickening end to the match, Randy Orton would go to extreme lengths to retain his title, as he would land a vicious punt kick to Cody's head, putting him out of action for the next few months. In the weeks leading up to the Elimination Chamber, Randy would be without a WrestleMania opponent. The winner of the Royal Rumble, Gunther, would choose to face Raw's World Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, leaving Randy without a challenger. To determine an opponent for Randy at WrestleMania, General Manager Nick Aldis would book a 6-man Elimination Chamber match at the upcoming Premium Live event. The Chamber match would include LA Knight, AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Solo Sikoa, Grayson Waller and a mystery participant who was agreed a short-term contract with Nick Aldis and the SmackDown brand. A week before the Chamber, Randy Orton would call out the mystery participant. Randy would anticipate that it would be the surprise return of Cody Rhodes, returning quickly from injury. However, Randy would look like he's seen a ghost as John Cena's music would hit the speakers, to a tremendous ovation from the crowd. Cena would lay into Orton, saying that someone needs to finally knock the voices out of his head, once and for all. And if there was someone who could do it, it would be Cena, who has defeated Orton several times in the past. Orton would advise Cena not to enter the chamber, because if he does the unthinkable and actually wins the match, then Randy will promise to retire Cena at WrestleMania. At the Elimination Chamber, the final two participants would be John Cena and AJ Styles. After an incredible performance by Cena, he would be left with just one participant to defeat. Cena would attempt an attitude adjustment on AJ Styles, but Styles would reverse it, before planting Cena with a Styles Clash, crushing Cena's dreams and winning the match, becoming the #1 contender. Following the chamber, Randy would say it's obvious that Cena lost on purpose, so that he didn't have to face Randy in a match that Cena knows he would lose. Randy and new #1 contender AJ Styles would feud leading into their WrestleMania match. However, just 3 weeks prior to WrestleMania, Randy would do the unthinkable. Randy would attack AJ before connecting with a despicable punt kick to AJ's head. The following week, Nick Aldis would have no choice but to cancel the title match scheduled for WrestleMania between AJ Styles and Randy Orton. Instead, Aldis would announce a match for tonight's episode of SmackDown to determine a #1 contender to take AJ's place at WrestleMania. The match would be a fatal five-way between the 5 losing Elimination Chamber participants: LA Knight, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, Solo Sikoa, and John Cena. All 5 superstars would feel the pressure, knowing that this is a massive opportunity to book their place at WrestleMania. But Cena is feeling the pressure more than anyone, knowing that this is his last ever opportunity to win a world title and to break the record. At the start of the match, Solo Sikoa would take the fight to Cena at ringside, landing a lethal Samoan spike. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller would try to get Solo to team with them temporarily in order to take out LA Knight. Solo would agree, but his name is Solo for a reason. Solo would take out Knight, but his partnership with Waller and Theory would not last long, as he would land a Samoan spike on Theory and one for Grayson Waller too. Turning his attention back to Cena, Solo would head to ringside to put Cena out of the match for good. He would pick Cena up before dragging him to the announce table. Distracted by boos from the crowd, Solo would lose focus just for a moment, allowing the 16-time world champ to hit an attitude adjustment to Solo through the announce table. Back in the ring, the alliance between Theory and Waller would crumble, as both men want to be in the main event of WrestleMania. Theory would land an A-Town down on Waller before being hit with a BFT from LA Knight. Cena would roll back into the ring, leaving LA Knight and John Cena as the last men standing. The two would trade fists in the ring, but Cena would win the standoff, landing an attitude adjustment to Knight. He would go for the cover, but Austin Theory would break the pin. Theory would try to set up Cena for an A-Town down, but Cena would reverse it into an attitude adjustment, before locking in the STF. With no one making the save, Theory would be forced to tap, booking Cena's ticket to WrestleMania. With just a week until their showdown, Randy and Cena would have their final confrontation before WrestleMania. Cena would express his desire to not only end the voices in Randy Orton's head, but also to win his 17th World Championship, and to break the record for the most world title wins in history. Randy would vow to not let that happen. Cena would make it known that this is his final opportunity to break the record, and to win a championship in the WWE. If he can't win this match, then his career will be over. At WrestleMania, a feud that has existed for almost 20 years will write its final chapter, as Randy Orton defends his undisputed WWE Universal Championship against John Cena, with Cena's career on the line. The two would run it back, with both men fighting to gain the advantage in the early goings in the match. Randy would take control, landing his signature apron DDT, which dramatically slowed down the pace of the match. Randy would pick Cena apart with stomps, before landing an RKO. Cena will not be put down easily, as he manages to kick out at 2. Randy would continue his attack, but Cena would try to regain some momentum. But Orton would rock Cena's lights with an elbow. Cena would surprise Orton with an attitude adjustment, but Randy would somehow kick out at 2. Cena would lock in his signature STF submission. After what seemed like an eternity, Randy would manage to break free with an elbow strike to Cena's face. Randy would quickly strike Cena with an RKO, but Cena would manage to kick out again. Randy would remove the turnbuckle pad before sending Cena crashing into the exposed metal. As Randy would set up Cena for a vicious punt kick, it became clear that he would do anything it takes to win. Randy would charge at Cena to land his punt kick, but Cena would play possum, jump into his feet and catch an Orton in an attitude adjustment. Cena would defeat Orton and capture his 17th world title in the WWE, breaking the all-time record. In the weeks following WrestleMania, Randy would make it his mission to regain the world title. Cena would promise the fans one final run, but he would make it known that if he loses the title, his career will be over. Cena would defend the title against Randy Orton at the following month's Backlash PLE. If Randy wins the match, he will tie with Ric Flair on 16 world title reigns. At Backlash, Orton and Cena would run it back once again. Despite another classic match, the outcome would be different this time, as Randy would defeat Cena to win his 16th world title, but also ending Cena's career in the process. John would exit the building to a standing ovation from the WWE Universe. Cena would retire as the face of a generation and a legend of the business. Following Backlash, Cody Rhodes would return to challenge Randy Orton for the Universal title at SummerSlam. At SummerSlam, Cody and Randy would go head to head for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Cody would ultimately win the match, ending Randy's 16th world title reign. And that just about wraps up the final John Cena and Randy Orton saga in the WWE. Orton would go on to hunt for his 17th world title reign to see if he can tie the record with John Cena. As for Cena, wrestling retirements don't always mean forever, and some rivalries never truly die.